speaker is Gustaf-Wilhelm Hellstedt. He is going to talk about entrepreneurship. Are you in or are you out? Jumping out of the aircraft and creating a parachute on the way down. He will share some reflections from a serial entrepreneurship life that he had for the past 45 years. He is a serial entrepreneur, leadership advisor and consultant, startup and business coach, keynote and inspirational speaker, due diligence, people and business growth specialist. Making people grow is something that Gustaf is good at and passionate about, to lead and work with people. After this speech, we will also have a workshop. So welcome, Gustaf, the stage is yours.
Thank you, and welcome all of you who are here listening today. So yeah, are you in or are you out? And entrepreneurship is, it's not, there is no equality in entrepreneurship either. There is huge problems there for female entrepreneurs to be able to get financing and topics like that. I actually have a very recent example of that. A female entrepreneur that I've been working with for a few years. She's now been seeing 56 different finance people. And in more or less all of the conversations they start, even though they are female and equally female and male financiers, they always start with the question, so you're very young, when are you going to have children? This is the first question she gets before she gets into her statements of finance and everything she's doing for her business. They are more interested to see if she's going to get pregnant, because she's a young woman, they can't invest in her. So this is a huge problem we have in society today for entrepreneurs as well. So it is a big obstacle. So entrepreneurship, well, you can change the slide, jumping out of an aircraft. This is what it's all about, isn't it? To have the guts to do something. And for that reason, you need to ask yourself one question. Next slide. That is the question of why. Why are you doing this? So why are you here listening today? And why do you get up in the morning? So why is the most important word we actually have? Ask yourself why in front of everything you do. And you are aspiring entrepreneurs, some of you here. Why? Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to become an entrepreneur? And myself, I'm defined as an entrepreneur. I've started and, well, I've run multiple businesses during my lifespan. And I've been involved, I have today involvement in both organizations and companies in Sweden and internationally. And I'm, as I was presented, a consultant coach, and I work a lot with leadership. And one of the crucial things to remember is you have 2 ears, 1 mouth, use it accordingly. If you're the leader, the boss, you need to listen to what's going on underneath you with your employees or whatever it is. Listen to people. Don't override them by talking all the time. So let's start with the definition of the word entrepreneur. Historically, the word is actually adventurer. So when you in history describe an entrepreneur, he was an adventurer, or she was an adventurer. And also, you heard the expression venture capital. So it's from adventure. You take an adventure with your money. You don't know really what's going to happen, but you take the risk. So the entrepreneur is to assume the risk and to deal with the uncertainty. An entrepreneur is also considered to be just that, a risk taker, right? Who deliberately allocates resources to exploit opportunities to maximize the financial return, the financial gain of it. So do you recognize yourself in this definition? If you want to become an entrepreneur, are you willing to take the risk? And to start a business, anyone can do that. But to be successful, you need to, first of all, know why you're doing things. So what is your why? Something to think about. And when you know that part, it's not enough. You also need to figure out as an entrepreneur, how am I going to do this? And maybe when, and maybe where. So why, how, when, and where. Easy questions to remember. And it's about seeing opportunities and taking risks and being very, very, very persistent. Never give up. You don't fail until you give up. And one day I had an epiphany that changed everything for me personally. It was when I realized that it's all risky. It's all risky. The minute you were born, it got risky. If you think trying is risky, wait until they hand you the bill for not trying. And if you think investing is risky, wait until they hand you the tab for not investing. See, it's all risky. And getting married is risky. I know, I'm divorced. And having children is risky. I'm scared every day, even though they're adults. Going into business is risky. You win some, you lose some. Investing money is risky. You win some, you lose some. It's all risky. But I will tell you one thing. I will tell you how risky life is. You're not going to get out alive. So the conclusion on all of this is create your business. Try that job, get married, have children if you can, because just sitting there doing nothing won't change the end. So take a risk and do something. If you want to become an entrepreneur and try it, yes, do it. And remember, the road to success, that road is always under construction. So it's going to be a bumpy road, but you can make it. So opportunity, what is that then? It's an occasion or situation that makes it possible to do something that you want to do or have to do. So a possibility to do something, basically. And if you look around today, what's the possibility of today? You can learn something. You can interact with people here, and that could lead to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. Networking is an opportunity here today. And my question is always to people, would you recognize an opportunity if it came knocking on your door? And I'll give you from my own life a couple of stories. So many years ago, ancient time, I wrote a short article about a theft from the royal family here in Sweden, and that was they were interested in the Times in England to publish that little. It was a tiny piece, 10 sentences, and they called me up and to go through that little article with me. And at the same time, I was involved in a new venture about putting pictures to the Old Testament, the Bible, and we call ourselves Bible Illuminated. And the pictures were, we were going to hire the best photographers in the world to do this interpretation of the Bible. Photographers like Mauro Testino, Nan Golding, Paolo Roversi, at that time the most famous photographers within art and fashion. And we had no money and totally unknown and from Sweden. So the Times called me to talk about the article. And when I had them on the phone, I realized this is an opportunity. So I said, listen to this, forget that little article I've written. I'm actually doing this. And I sold them the idea of what I was going to do with the Bible, the biggest brand in the world and the most sold book in the world. So they bought it and they interviewed me for an article about my idea instead of publishing my little crappy piece I've written. They asked me the question, who's going to be Adam and Eve in your version of the Bible? And then I thought for a millisecond, oh, it will be people like Claudia Schiffer and Marcus Schenkenberg, who were at the time the hottest model names I could remember. So they wrote on the front page of the Times, Claudia Schiffer and Marcus Schenkeberg is going to be Adam and Eve in the new sex up version of the Bible illuminated. And that, my friends, was the starting point of my first 15 minutes of fame. After that, everybody in the world caught on to this, and I was featured in 1,000 articles worldwide. TV shows, radio shows, everybody. I was the Pravda in Russia, Hindustan Times, even TV Guide in US, which was the biggest printed thing ever in the US at that time. They had me on the cover. So do you think I could get investors after that? Yeah, I could. Everybody opened the doors. Swedish television also made a documentary, so I could call up an investor and say, hey, I'm from Bible Illuminated. We want to come and discuss financing. Before you answer, is it okay if we bring a TV team with us? Everybody wanted to see us. So that was an opportunity. I saw it and I ran with it. So it could be small opportunities, it could be big opportunities. You just need to have an open mind for what is going on. And the other day I was at the flea market, saw a couple of porcelain plates, antiques. I haggled, bought them really cheaply, walked 5 minutes, met a friend, and I said, oh, why are you doing here? Oh, I'm looking for porcelain plates, he said. And I made a healthy profit in 5 minutes. There was an opportunity. I could have kept the plates, I could have sold them later, maybe get some more money. Nah, I took the opportunities. Always look for opportunities. So that's the lesson. Be open-minded. So these were some takeaways. And remember that the value of an idea is the using of it. And the difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do. And be optimistic. This is very important. Don't be negative. The optimist is wrong frequently as the pessimist, but the optimist has so much more fun. So I think I'll end there, and thank you.